first half 20 points off of 2 turnovers and a blocked punt. The league's #2 defense tops against the run, very much a part of the Steelers' 6-2 record, which has them tied with 5 others for the league's best record. The leader of that D and the team, and many would say the unofficial contest for best hair in the NFL, safety Troy Polamalu. He joins us now on First Take, thanks to Head & Shoulders and their main event program. We know you didn't win in their program, Troy, but we're going to talk about it later because we think you got robbed on that one.
Thank you.
Let's talk some football from last night, and I mentioned James Harrison. After all that sort of happened this season, all the talk, including some comments by you about the hits and penalties, what did it mean last night for that final play to be made by him really to secure that game?
Yeah, that's the thing about football is one of the aspects is that intimidation, that fear, that you can instill in receivers when they come across the middle. I know if I was a receiver and I saw James Harrison coming across the, in the middle, I definitely would be short-arming balls. And that's the thing, when you have a reputation of being a big hitter and I guess receiving those type of big fines, receivers are going to be a little hesitant at times to make that catch.
You talk about if you had James Harrison coming at you, you kind of took a hit towards the end of the game last night. How are you feeling today?
I feel good. My pride is broken, of course, but the best thing about it's obviously a fellow Samoan, so I'm happy to say that he's at least Samoan.
Yeah, Derek Brooks, I think, gave you the ugly award. He gave you one of either the bad or the ugly with all of that. So is that good? Is that praise there with it?
I guess so. Sometimes Coach LeBeau says you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you, and I definitely took it on the goal line there, that's for sure.
Well, let me ask you about, in some of your comments I mentioned, with James Harrison and the fines, and you were talking about how the league maybe should penalize players for some of those hits that they're talking about. You felt that current players should have a say in some of those fines. Roger Goodell said that's not going to happen, but what type of compromise do you think maybe could be reached? Could you have former players weigh in on those?
Well, I think current players need to be. I also think former players, as well as Commissioner Goodell. I think all 3 aspects would be great. You would have 3 different opinions. Right now, it's just pretty much Commissioner Goodell and Ray Anderson and Merton Hanks. And if you want to appeal any of those fines, you appeal to the same people. I think anybody would say that's pretty ridiculous, but the truth is, I think if you have a more democratic approach to these $50,000, $75,000 fines that they're handing out, it would save a lot of players a lot of money. And I just think that the process needs to be cleaned up quite a bit.
I'm going to switch gears here and get away from the serious. I got to talk hair with you now, and I know we started getting into it a little bit as you were talking about your contact, I'll say, with your fellow Samoan. You recently did also lose to Brian Bosworth, though, in that Head & Shoulders main event. You also, though, have like $1 million hair policy. What's up with that?
I don't know. When you go through college and you just think you've grown out your hair because you want to be grungy, I never thought it would come to this, partnering up with Head & Shoulders as well as having $1 million hair insurance.
I mean, yeah, seriously, Troy, people try to replicate the look. It's can you see a monitor in there? I just want you to, I mean, they've got wigs out there. Can you see? What do you think? This is the Troy Polamalu wig. I think in the 80s I got this look going, but did you ever think, I mean, this is crazy. People want your hair, everything. You have an iPhone app, Troy.
I don't know. Sometimes I gotta, pinch myself to see that everything's real or not, but I don't know, it's pretty crazy. Growing up, I never thought that any of this type of attention or celebrity and whatever you may want to call it I would be part of it.
I can't even take myself seriously, by the way, looking at myself with the Troy wig on right now. It's crazy. What about your kids, though? You have 2 little boys, and I know it's part of the Samoan culture. I'm taking this off because I want you to take me somewhat seriously. If they decided that they wanted to go short hair instead of the long hair, which is supposed to bring you strength, what would you say?
I would have some problems with that, quite honestly. Right now, they both still haven't cut their hair, so they're on the good Head & Shoulders program right now. They start at a young age, so they'll have a much better hair than I have.
Well, That's hard for me to believe, but I can't wait to see it. Troy, we always love having you on. Tell our good friend Ryan that we said hello, and good luck the rest of the season. You guys at 6-2, obviously tops of the NFL right now with some other teams.
Thank you very much.
Still to come for the Steelers, by the way, the Patriots, as Jay was talking about.